أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن محمدًا رسول الله. أشهد أن محمدًا رسول حي على الصلاة. حي على حي على الفلاح. حي على الله أكبر. الله أكبر. لا إله إلا الله.
गणानां त्वा गणपतिगुं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमं ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणस्पत आनशृण्वन्नोतिभिः सीदसाधनम् प्रणो देवी सरस्वती वाजेभिर्वाजिनीवती धीनामवित्रयवतु गणेशाय नमः सरस्वत्यै नमः श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ ॐ नमो भगवते रुद्राय ॐ नमस्ते रुद्रमण्यव उतोत इषवे नमः नमस्ते यस्तु धन्वने बाहुभ्यामुत ते नमः यात इषु शिवतमा शिवं बभूवते धनुः शिवा शरव्या यातवतया नो रुद्रमृडया याते रुद्रशिवा तनूरघोरा पापकाशिनी तया नस्तनुवाशन्दमया गिरिशन्ताविचाकशीः यामिषुं गिरिशन्तहस्तेभिभर्ष्यस्तवे शिवां गिरित्रतां कुरु माहि गुंसीः पुरुषं जगत् शिवेन वचसा त्वा गिरिशाच्चावधामसि यथा नः सर्वमिज्जगत यक्ष्मगुं सुमना असत् अध्यवोचदति वक्ता प्रथमो दैव्योऽभिषक अहीगुश्च सर्वां जम्भयन् सर्वाश्च यातु धान्यः असौ यस्ताम्रो अरुण उत बभ्रुस्सु मङ्गलः ये चेमागुं रुद्रा अभितो दिक्षु श्रिता सहस्रशो वै शागुं हेडहीमहे असौ यो वसर्पति नीलग्रीवो विलोहितः उतैनं गोपा अदृषन्नदृषन्नुदहार्यः उतैनं विश्वाभूतानि सदृष्टो मृडयातिनः नमो अस्तु नीलग्रीवाय सहस्राक्षाय मीढुषे अथो ये अस्य सत्त्वानोऽहं तेभ्यो करन्नमः प्रमुञ्च धन्वनस्त्वमुभयोरार्त्नियोर्ज्यां याश्च ते हस्त इषवः पराता भगवो वपा अवतत्य धनुस्त्वगुं सहस्राक्षशते शुधे निशीर्य शल्याणां मुखा शिवो नः सुमना भवा विज्यं धनुः कपर्धिनो विशल्यो बाणवागुम् उता अणेषण्णस्येषव आभुरस्य निषङ्गतिः याते हेतिर्मीधुष्टमहस्ते बभूवते धनुः तयास्मान् विश्वतस्त्वमयक्ष्मया परिभुजां नमस्ते अस्त्वायुधायानातताय धृष्णवे उभाभ्यामुत ते नमो बाहुभ्यां तव धन्वने परिते धन्वनो हेतिरस्मान् वृणक्तु विश्वतः अथो य इषुधिस्तभारे अस्मन्निधेहितम् नमस्ते अस्तु भगवन् विश्वेश्वराय महादेवाय त्र्यम्बकाय त्रिपुरान्तकाय त्रिकाग्निकालाय कालाग्निरुद्राय नीलकण्ठाय मृत्युञ्जयाय सर्वेश्वराय सदाशिवाय श्रीमन्महादेवाय नमः ॐ द्रापे अन्धसस्पते दरिद्रन्नीललोहितां येषां पुरुषाणामेषां पशूनां मा भेद्मा रोमो येषां किञ्चनाममत या ते रुद्रशिवा तनुशिवा विश्वाह भेषजी शिवा रुद्रस्य भेषजी तया नो मृडजीवसे इमागुं रुद्राय तवसे कपर्धिने क्षयद्वीराय प्रभरामहे मतिम् यथा नः समषद्विपते चतुष्पते विश्वं पुष्टं ग्रामे अस्मिन्ननातुरं मृडानो रुद्रोतनो मयस्कृधि क्षयद्वीराय नमसा विधेमते यच्छं च योश्च मनुरायजे पिता दतस्यावदवरुद्रप्रणीतौ मानो महान्तमुतमानो अर्भकं मान उक्षन्तमुतमान उक्षितं मानोऽवधी पितरं मोदमातरं प्रियामानस्तनुभो रुद्ररीरिषः मानस्तोके तनये मान आयुषि मानो गोषु मानो अश्वेषु रीरिषः वीराण्मानो रुद्रभामितो वधिर्हविष्वन्तो नमसा विधेमते आराध्ये गोघ्न उत पूरुषज्ञे क्षयद्वीराय सुम्नमस्मे ते अस्तु रक्षा च नो अधिजदेवः ब्रूह्यता च नः शर्म यच्छद्विवर्हाः स्तुहि श्रुतं गर्तसदं युवाणं मृगण्ण भीमो वहद्नुमुग्रम् मृडाजरिद्रे रुद्रस्तवानो अन्यन्ते अस्मन्निबबन्तु सेनाः परिणो रुद्रस्य हेतिर्वृणक्तु परित्वेषस्य दुर्मतिरघायोः अवस्थिरा मगवद्भस्तनुष्वमीढ्वस्तोकायतनयाय मृडया मीढुष्टमशिवतमशिवो नः सुमना भवा परमे वृक्ष आयुधन्निधाय कृत्तिं वसान आचर पिनाकं बिभ्रदागहि विकिरदविलोहितनमस्ते अस्तु भगवः यास्ते सहस्रगुं हेतयोन्यमस्वन्निपपन्तु ताः सहस्राणि सहस्रदा बाहुवोस्तमहेतयः तत्ताशामीशानो भगवः पराचीनामुखाकृते सहस्राणि सहस्रशो ये रुद्रा अधिभूम्याम् तेषागुं सहस्रयोजने वधन्वानि तन्मसि अस्मिन्महत्यर्नवेऽन्तरिक्षे भवा अधि नीलग्रीवाशितिकण्ठा शर्वा अधः क्षमाचराः नीलग्रीवाशितिकण्ठा दिवगुं रुद्रा उपश्रिताः ये वृक्षेषु सस्पिञ्जरा नीलग्रीवा विलोहिताः ये भूतानामधिपतयो विशिखासः कपर्धिनः ये अन्नेषु विविध्यन्ति पात्रेषु विपतो जनान् ये पथां पतिरक्षय ऐलभृदायव्युदः ये तीर्थानि प्रचरन्त्रिशखावन्तो निषङ्गिनः य एतावन्तश्च भूयागुंशस्तदिशो रुद्राविथस्थिरे तेषागुं सहस्रयोजने वधन्वानि तन्मसि नमो रुद्रेभ्यो ये पृथिव्यान्येऽन्तरिक्षे ये दिवि येषामन्नं वातो वर्षमिषवस्तेभ्यो दश प्राचीर्दश दक्षिणा दश प्रतीचीर्दशोदीर्चीर्दशोढ्वास्तेभ्यो नमस्ते नो मृडयन्तु तेयं विष्मो यश्च नो द्वेष्टितं भोजं भेदधामि त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मोक्षीयमामृतात् यो रुद्रो अग्नौ यो अप्सु य ओषधीषु यो रुद्रो विश्वा भुवना विवेश तस्मै रुद्राय नमो अस्तु ये ते सहस्रमयुतं पाशा मृत्यो मर्त्याय हन्तवे तान् यज्ञस्य मायया सर्वाणमयजामहे मृत्यवे स्वाहा मृत्यवे स्वाहा प्राणानां ग्रन्थिरसि रुद्रो मा विशान्तकः तेनान्नेनाप्यायस्व नमो रुद्राय विष्णवे मृत्युर्मे पाहि तमुष्टु हि यस्विषुस्सुधन्वायो विश्चक्षयति भेषजस्य यक्ष्वा महेशौ मनसाय रुद्रं नमो भिर्देवमसुरं दुवस्य अयं मे हस्तो भगवानयं मे भगवत्तरः अयं मे विश्वभे क्षजो यगुं शिवाभिवर्षणः ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः ॐ यदक्षरपदभ्रष्टं मात्राहीनं तु यद्भवेत् तत्सर्वं क्षम्यतां देवनारायण नमोऽस्तु ते विसर्गबिन्दुमात्राणि पदपादाक्षराणि च न्यूनानि चातिरिक्तानि क्षमस्व साईश्वर अपराधसहस्राणि क्रियन्ते हर्निशं मया दासोऽयमिति मां मत्वा क्षमस्व साईश्वर अन्यथा शरणं नास्ति त्वमेव शरणं मम तस्मात् कारुण्यभावेन रक्ष रक्ष साईश्वर हरिः ॐ तत्सत् श्री साईश्वरार्पणमस्तु स्वस्ति प्रजाभ्यः परिपालयन्तां न्यायेन मार्गेण महीं महिषाः गोब्राह्मणेभ्यः शुभमस्तु नित्यं समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः
From age to age, God incarnates in human form for the protection of the virtuous, for the destruction of evil, and for the establishment of righteousness. Bhagawan Shri Sathya Sai Baba, God in human form, has incarnated to correct mankind, raise human consciousness, and put people back on the right path of truth, righteousness, peace, and love to divinity. Baba says, I have come not to disturb or destroy any faith, but to confirm each in his own faith, so that a Hindu becomes a better Hindu. A Buddhist becomes a better Buddhist. A Zoroastrian becomes a better Zoroastrian.
अशेम वहु वैष्टेमस्ति उष्टा अस्ति उष्टा अम्माय यत् अशाय वैष्टाय अशेम.
A Judaist becomes a better Judaist. A Muslim becomes a better Muslim.
الله أكبر بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد.
A Christian becomes a better Christian.
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen.
ప్రేమ స్వరూపులారా, హ్యాపీ 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 బీ హ్యాపీ 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 మేక్ అదర్స్ హ్యాపీ ఆల్ విల్ బి హ్యాపీ గాడ్ విల్ బి హ్యాపీ.
ईश्वराय विद्महे सत्यदेवाय धीमहि तन्नः सर्वः प्रचोदयात्. ईश्वराय विद्महे सत्यदेवाय धीमहि तन्नः सर्वः प्रचोदयात्. ईश्वराय विद्महे सत्यदेवाय धीमहि तन्नः सर्वः प्रचोदयात्.
Om Shri Sai Ram. I offer myself on behalf of all of us present here and those watching live at the divine lotus feet of our beloved Lord Bhagawan Shri Sathya Sai Baba. Sai Ram and welcome to all of you here and those joining live to the 5th anniversary celebrations of BhajanBliss. This is going to be a couple months of celebration as we give gratitude to Bhagawan for giving us the opportunity and the ideas, the strength, the encouragement, and the devotion to run BhajanBliss.com. This is a small endeavor in which we bring great minds and great music under one roof. And so, on this evening's Friday Night Inspiration special program, we have a very special guest speaker with us. How the BhajanBliss team came to the choice of having this particular person speak is actually a very funny incident. The individual that we'll be hearing this evening is a member of the Sathya Center of Jersey City. And we have our SSE graduation coming up next week. And so there's a play that's being put together, and our guest speaker today is the one who is coordinating that play. And so over the last few days and weeks, we've been recording dialogues and music for this play. And so I've been collaborating closely with our guest speaker this evening in getting these voiceovers and music background together for this play. And during this entire experience, whether it was working on the voiceovers or dropping her off at home, numerous experiences were shared. And I thought we need to capture these experiences, both in the physical presence and the omnipresence of our Lord. And so it is my pleasure and great honor to introduce this evening's guest speaker, Mrs. Jiji E. Sister Jiji is a lifelong devotee of Bhagawan Shri Sathya Sai Baba. She received her MBA from Osmania University in Hyderabad, now in Telangana. She was an employee of TCS and IBM. As I mentioned, Sister Jiji currently lives in Jersey City, is a proud mother of an 8-year-old daughter, and a dedicated SSE Guru at the Sathya Sai Center of Jersey City. She'll be sharing her experiences with us this evening. Jai Sai Ram. With that, I welcome Sister Jiji to the podium.
I offer my humble pranams to the lotus feet of Bhagawan Sri Sathya Sai Baba. And I want to thank, from the bottom of my heart, I want to thank Rishi and the BhajanBliss team for giving me this opportunity to speak about my experiences with Sai Baba. I don't know where to start, actually. I'll start with my grandfather. It's almost been 30 years since my grandfather passed away. Even today, if you ask the old-timers about my grandfather, you take his name, the first thing they'll tell you is, oh, that's Sai Baba devotee. I want to be known like that. I want my identity to be only with Sai Baba. In this life and even after my death, I want people to know me only as a Sai Baba devotee and nothing else. And starting about my family, before I go into my family, I would want to say, the greatest blessing Baba has showered on me is my parents. I have the greatest parents in the world, and I'm really grateful for that. And it's been a very blessed family, I should say. It's like 5 generations of us, not together, but each of us have had our darshans of Sai Baba in different times. My daughter, me, my mother's mother, that is my grandmother, and my grandmother's mother, that is my great-grandmother. All of us had a physical darshan of Bhagawan Sri Sathya Sai Baba. So I'm really grateful. So we are a blessed family that way. And who is Sai Baba to me? Sai Baba is God to me. Sometimes you think, God is the person who created the whole universe. He made the Milky Way galaxy. Sometimes you think he's somebody who's far away in the heaven, who's not reachable. But for me, he's my best friend. He's my constant companion. He's always there with me. I have this feeling and I know that he's always with me. My relationship with Sai Baba. I think Sai Baba is my father and I'm his adorable daughter. He loves me a lot. And to speak about me as a little child, there was no introduction to Sai Baba as such. No particular incident happened that, after which I fell in love with Sai Baba. I was always in love with Sai Baba. As a little child, my mother showed me the picture of Sai Baba and told me she told me that this is God, and I never questioned it. He's always been my God. There was no particular instant which happened and after which I became a Sai Baba devotee. For me, miracles is nothing, nothing so exciting that this happened after which I became a devotee. Things always happen. I thought if there is God, then obviously things would happen. There's nothing. And I'm really blessed that He's showered so much love on me, with which I would be sharing with all of you. I'll talk about me as a little girl. As a little girl, I used to sit with my brothers and watch a lot of scary movies. And my brothers always frightened me after that. And I was always very scared. And I had pictures of God stuck over the wall all the time. And I had this particular picture of Sai Baba, which my grandfather gave to my mother. A young Sai Baba having his feet over the tiger skin. We all know the story of the tiger skin. And I held that frame. After watching a scary movie that night, I would hold the frame very tightly in my hand, thinking that the moment I leave this frame, demon would come and harm me. And all night I would hold the frame of Sai Baba's picture and my little fingers would hurt. It's the same me now. I'm 35, but nothing has changed. I don't need to really hold the picture of Sai Baba. I know that if I hold Baba, nothing can touch me. No harm can come to me. And even if I leave Baba, he's not going to leave me. And, that is how this small girl has grown into a big woman. And I'll tell you about a small story when we are talking about scary events. There's this wonderful auntie who's a Sai devotee. Her name is Pushpa Auntie. She lives in Bangalore. I moved to New Jersey from Bangalore. So whenever I visit Bangalore, I stay at her place. But it's a very old house and there are many stories about this particular house. And I'm never comfortable sleeping there. It's, I get very scared sleeping there alone in that place. And one particular evening, I actually reached, I think I just came from the US and I was severely jet lagged. And I badly wanted to sleep, but I was really scared. In that house, I'm actually very scared to sleep in that house all alone. And not all alone, in that room. Specifically because that room has many stories. I don't want to get into the details, but I put my daughter to bed and I was really scared and I was thinking I'm so tired but I'm not able to sleep. And immediately Pushpa Auntie came to the first floor. She sleeps in the ground floor. She came to the first floor and she said, I was drinking a glass of water. I thought now that Auntie is here, let me sleep. I was feeling a little better because Auntie had come. So I drank a cup of water and I kept the glass on a bookshelf. So Auntie told me, don't keep it on the bookshelf. Long back, we used to keep statues of God there, so you keep it somewhere else. So immediately I kept it somewhere else. And then Auntie went away and I felt better and I was trying to sleep. Then I saw a white, bluish light right beside, right near my feet, between me and my daughter. And I was feeling, normally when you see something abnormal, you get scared. But I was not scared of this light. I was so comfortable. I felt as though I'm sleeping between my parents. I was that comfortable. And I was so jet lagged that I didn't have the energy to open and look at that light. All night, when I woke up, I slowly opened my eyes and I saw this light there. And I thought, okay, God is protecting me. But I didn't have the energy to open. At 5:45, opened my eyes. At 5:45, when I woke up, I ran to Pushpa Auntie, who gets up very early. And I went down and I said, Auntie, why did you change, the puja place where you kept the statues of God into a bookshelf? She said, who told you this? I said, you told me last night when you came up. She said, with this pain in my leg, you saw my knee. Do you think I'll climb so many times upstairs? I didn't come upstairs, she said. I knew immediately it was Baba who came there to comfort me because I was scared. And when I saw Auntie, I felt a little better. And all night he was there like a light, protecting me and making me feel better. Like a bed lamp there. The light was there and I was feeling better. And I could sleep comfortably. He took such wonderful care of me. When I talk about this incident of Baba coming as Pushpa Auntie, another incident comes to my mind. This is a very, very funny incident. You'll all love it. I and my mother and our family went to Puttaparthi to visit Baba. I don't remember the exact year. I think 2006, 2007. I don't remember the exact year. And we were living in Lake Dew in Bangalore. And over there, we had a flower boy, a school boy who used to come and sell flowers. And we used to buy flowers every day to give it to the Lord. And this particular day, my mummy told that boy that please don't come tomorrow. We are going to Puttaparthi. So you come day after tomorrow. He said, okay. And probably he forgot about it. And then, after 2 days, when we came back from Puttaparthi, my mother, the moment we entered, she saw that in my garden and the tulsi plant, there were a lot of flowers. There was an array of big flowers. And my mother said, I told this boy specifically not to come, but he still came and he kept those flowers here. But I'll still pay him. But she thought she'll talk to him about it. So next day when he came, she paid him. And she said, I told you I don't want flowers, but you still gave the flowers, so I'm paying you. He said, why are you paying me, Auntie? You gave me money yesterday. My mother said, how will I give you money? I was in Puttaparthi at that time. And he said, no, auntie, you only bought these flowers for me. You gave this money to me. And how can you say like this? I don't want money from you. My mother again said, how will I come from Puttaparthi? I was in Puttaparthi. I only came this morning. How will I give you money? This boy, after that, he never came to my house. He got so scared. He thought if this auntie was in Puttaparthi, who is this lady whom I met yesterday? And after that, every day we used to wait for this flower boy and he never came. And I and my mother had a hearty laugh. It's like Baba scared this boy away. And when I think about this, it's so funny. And another incident comes to my mind, wherein I and my daughter were sharing a joke. There's this particularly irritating lady whom I know, and I and my daughter were talking about her. We were having a party and we didn't know whether to invite her or not invite her. If we invite her, she would come and she would, say something. And if we wouldn't invite her, she would say, you didn't call me. So my daughter said, Mama, with this auntie, we are on a road which has dead end on both sides. And then I started laughing loudly. I said, a road with dead end on both sides? I said, where did you come up with this? And I started giggling and laughing loudly. And even my daughter started, she was so happy, even she started laughing. And while we both were laughing, we saw Baba's picture open up completely and show his teeth. And I and my daughter, we stopped laughing and our mouth all open and we were looking at the picture and my daughter's like, Mama, see, Baba's enjoying my joke. And we were like so touched. Baba's there, even sitting in our home and enjoying our joke every moment. We got to know it's just not a picture. He's there and he was sharing a joke with us. While we are on this, talking about my daughter, I'll talk about another incident. My daughter was studying in a preschool called World of ABC. It's in Jersey City. It's actually a mile from my place. And she went there for a month. I had to pick her up at 12 o'clock. And I was always late. I would leave my house at 11:55. It's impossible for me to run, and reach there in 5 minutes. So one day I was really getting late and I knew the, teacher would be upset if I go late and I was running really hard. And then I prayed to Baba, oh God, please do something. May I get a taxi at this point so that no taxi will come on such a small journey. May I get a taxi at this point so that I reach there on time. The moment I prayed, I just closed my eyes near the signal and I prayed, God, give me a taxi. And the moment I opened my eyes, there was this yellow taxi guy. He stopped the taxi and he asked me, do you want to go somewhere? And I immediately got into the taxi. And the first thing this guy told me, he was very handsome, let me tell you. He was extremely handsome. And he was a Muslim guy. And the first thing he told me is, you're a very beautiful woman. And I didn't like it one bit that he said, I'm a beautiful woman. I was actually going through this inferiority complex that I don't look good. I always have this inferiority complex. Now I am better. I don't think I am ugly. So Baba told me, you're a very beautiful woman. And I didn't like it one bit that he said, I'm a beautiful woman. And there's a very short journey. From the signal to World of ABC doesn't even take a minute. And, during that journey, he told me that he spoke to me about a particular, he said, you're a very good lady. But he spoke about a particular person in my family. And he said, that person is not good, he said. I said, what? And I was wondering, how does he know about this person? And he told me the exact reason why he doesn't like that person. I was stunned. And then immediately the stop came and he stopped and they were, he had to rush back because there were many cars behind him. And I couldn't ask anything more. And I remember giving him a handsome tip. And he said, I will remember this all my life, he said. And that was it. And I still didn't think that is Baba. Exactly 1 month from then. I think this incident happened somewhere in September. Exactly 1 month from then. I think during the time of Sandy, October 22nd, 23rd, I really got to know the true colors of this person was speaking about. Whatever this taxi driver told me about a particular person came to be true. And I was like, you came as a taxi driver and you told me something about, what's going to happen. I'm so touched. And I was really grateful. While I'm talking about Baba being my chauffeur once, he was not my chauffeur once, but he was my chauffeur many, many times. I'll talk to you about another time. My daughter was going to Cordero. It's a public school, which is again in Jersey City. It's again, I think, a mile or more than a mile from my place. We were running late to school, as usual. I'm not so disciplined, though I'm in the Baba stream. So we were running late as usual. The school starts at 8:45. And I decided that it was the second day of school. I thought, for me, even though my daughter was going to kindergarten, it was a big thing. And I wanted my daughter to be there on time. I decided that I cannot make her walk and we will not reach there before 8:45. So I'll call budget taxi. That time Uber was not so popular. So I called budget taxi and I waited. And it's a very short journey. So budget taxi is not going to make any money out of my journey. So he decided not to send me a taxi. But he never told me. Every time I called him, he said, Madam, within 5 minutes, your taxi will come. And I'm still waiting. It was even 8:42, the taxi didn't come. And I was waiting and waiting and waiting. The taxi never came. And I didn't know what to do. And my daughter was going on talking, and I was getting, so worried. I didn't know how will I take her. And all I had is $100 with me. I didn't have any change. My house, I live in Laguna, 45 Park Lane South, which is the dead end of the road. Now there's another building, but there's no more road after that. After that, there is a path, you can walk to Hoboken, but there is no road after that. In this dead end of the road, I closed my eyes and I said, Sai Baba, do something for me, I said. I opened my eyes. There was this big taxi which came right near my place. Why will a taxi come on this dead end of the road? And the board of the taxi was Queen Taxi. Again, a very handsome gentleman. An extremely handsome gentleman with lovely eyes. Very, very beautiful eyes. I forgot to tell you, when I was going to World of ABC, that is previously when Baba had taken me to World of ABC, he had given me a card and he told me, anytime you need me, you call me, he said. I later gave that card to a lady in Target. I remember old lady in Target. So this time I saw this gentleman and I thought that Baba sent me a car, but I didn't think Baba came as my driver. I told my daughter, see, Baba has sent me a car. I prayed a car has come. The first thing I asked with this driver is, do you have $100 change? He said, yes, please sit down, he said. And I told him, we need to go to Cordero, take me quickly. And I didn't say anything else to him and I sat in the taxi. And he took me through a different route. I said, this is not the way we go to Cordero. You're taking me through a different route. He said, don't worry, I'll take you there. And I remember I was getting scared and I was closing my eyes all the time and praying, God, please let me reach quickly. God, let me. And my daughter was going on talking and I was getting worried. We are getting late. And I closed my eyes and I prayed, God, let me reach on time. And every time I prayed, this gentleman would look back at me and say, don't worry. I don't know why I was praying and how did he know I was worried. Every time I said, God, let me reach quickly, this man would look back and say, don't worry. And very softly he said, don't worry. I was like, this guy is so compassionate. And I don't know, there's something in him that, made me fall, He was not handsome in a different way, in a very compassionate way. His eyes were so compassionate. I was like looking at him. And then we reached, I don't know the route he took to Cordero. Still today, I tried to find out that route. I never saw that route in which he took me to Cordero. We reached Cordero and he didn't take me exactly to that street, but he took me to the main road there and there were an array of cars behind us. So he couldn't stop for a very long time. The moment I got down, he opened his purse and there was exactly a $90 bill, $90 notes with him. Who would have exactly $90 with him? He would have to look for $90 and give it to me. He just picked up exact $90 and he gave it to me. And that itself was a surprise. I thought, how will someone have exact $90? And this thought came to my mind. Probably this is Baba. The way he looks, he's so handsome. His eyes are so compassionate. I said in my mind, if it is Baba, this guy is going to give me a card. And he, like how he gave me previously. The moment I said that, this guy gave me a card which has the name EJ Taxi and a number. And he said, anytime you need me, you call me, I will come. Any time of the day, he said. I didn't know. There were cars honking. He had to go. And I knew, I looked at the Lord and the Lord had to go and I had to go. Lord had to go. He's still with me, but still the form which came had to go. I was so happy. I can't tell you where I was. See, kindergarten is no great deal. If you go a little late or you don't go a particular day, it is no great deal. But for me, it was very important that my daughter went on her second day of school. And for me, if it is important for Baba too. Even a small worry that I have, it might not be really important. But to Baba, it is important because it matters to me. While we're here, I want to say another very, very funny incident. I had an iPhone. I think this happened in 2015. I think so. My iPhone wasn't working and it was completely dead. No matter what I did to my iPhone, it wouldn't work. And I gave it to my husband. He works in New York. At that time, there were not so many Apple stores everywhere. I gave it to my husband. I said, can you please repair this phone for me? He said, yes, when I go to office, when I come back in the evening, I'll go get it repaired. And he was really busy at that time. He had a lot of work. He went to office. He came back in the evening. He didn't get my phone repaired. He said, sorry, I was very busy. I couldn't get your phone repaired. Tomorrow I'll get it repaired. The second day he went to office, he didn't get my phone repaired. He said, I was really tied up. He was tied up. I know. He was really tied up. And he came back in the evening. I said, sorry, I didn't get your phone repaired even today. I'll get it repaired tomorrow. Third day, same thing continued. I was really angry with him now. And my husband had a colleague, his name is Vishal. He still has this colleague. And I gave this phone to Vishal. I said, see, can you at least do this favor to me? It's very difficult for me to go to New York and come back with my little daughter. I had to pick my daughter at 12 from school. So can you do this for me? He said, yes, definitely I'll get your phone repaired. Vishal also went to New York. He went to office, but he never got my phone repaired. He gave it to my husband and he said, asked him to say a sorry to me, and the phone came back to me. This was the 4th consecutive day. The 5th day, my husband told me again that today I'll get it repaired, but I really didn't. I said, you can't even get my phone repaired. I was really angry with him. And then I went very angry to Sai Baba's photo and I told Sai Baba, so this is what you want. I have to pick my daughter at 12 o'clock and the time then was around 10 or 10:30. Even if I go to New York now and locate that Apple store, I won't be able to come back by 12 and my daughter will be wailing and crying at 12 o'clock. Normally my daughter can stay longer at the school, but at 12 she will start asking for her mother when she was in preschool. And I knew she started crying at 12 o'clock if she doesn't see me at that time. And I told, Baba, you want my daughter to cry? This is what you want and that is why you're troubling me, I said. And I was really, actually Baba, it was not Baba's fault that my phone was not repaired. But whenever I get angry only with Baba, with nobody else. I was really angry with Baba. Then suddenly this thought, and I thought, okay, I'm going to New York, I thought. Let whatever happen. And before that, I don't know why, this thought came into my mind. I thought, let me try this for the last time. I took some vibhuti and I put it over the phone and I said, Baba, if you can repair this now, okay. Otherwise, I will go to New York, I said. And I didn't really think that the phone is going to work. And the way I told, people request God for things. I was like demanding that this phone be repaired if I sprinkle some vibhuti on it. And after some time, I wore my dress so that I go to, New York. And I was all ready and I took my phone and I just clicked the button and my phone worked. My phone, which was not working for the past 5 days, worked. And then you should have seen the happiness on my face. I took this phone and I went to my husband. I said, see, I don't need you to repair my phone. I don't need an Apple store. All I need to do is tell my God and he'll repair my phone, I said. After that time, many times my phone, there were many problems with my phone. This vibhuti technique did not work. It only works when God wants it to work, not when you want it to work. So sometimes you have to visit the Apple store. And, Baba is aware of everything that you do, including the WhatsApp messages you send to your friend. Whatever things go on in my mind, I will find an answer to it. Probably I'm worried about something. I will not even be, at that particular time, I'm not even thinking about that particular problem and I'll open a particular book. I'll find an answer to that, particular problem in that book. Sometimes, whenever I open a book randomly, whatever's going on in my life would be written in that book. Baba's constantly trying to tell me that he's aware of everything. Don't worry, I'm there with you. This phase will pass. One particular evening, I was a little worried about a particular decision I had to make. And I didn't know what decision to make, to go this way or that way. So I told my close friend Kranti that in the night I sent her a WhatsApp message. I have become Arjuna. I am waiting for Baba to come in my dream. And no matter what he tells me, this way or that way, I will take the decision. Still then, I will not take any decision, I said. And that was the message I sent to Kranti. And then she replied, you first take rest and you sleep properly. She was very worried that I was very tensed. And next morning around 5:30 I got up, and then early morning I always read books. I randomly picked up some Sai Baba's book and I opened it. I randomly opened some page. The first thing was written about surrendering like Arjuna. And I understood. Okay, I went to Baba's picture immediately and I said, okay, so you are aware of even the WhatsApp text messages that I sent? I'm really touched, I said. And I smiled to him. And another funny incident is coming to my mind. In the month of Jan 2016, a lot of things were happening in my life. My life was, I can't tell you what all was happening in my life. I was going through a different kind of emotions at that time. There was this, as a kid, I used to write a lot of poems, and this poet was sleeping inside. And probably in Jan 2016, the poet awoke. And I had a big fight with my best friend. There was no way I could show how much I cared. I don't know, this poet in me, woke up and I wrote a very beautiful poem. It says, you mean everything, and it was beautifully rhymed, and anybody who reads the poem would have tears in his eyes or her eyes. I wrote a beautiful poem for my best friend. And after that, since the poet is anyways awake, I started writing many types of poems. I even wrote a poet for a lover, assuming the lover's love to the moon. I said, this lover's love is like the moon, it waxes in veins. And I've written a lot of things. It's like the sun, it's like this, it's like that, and all that stuff. That month, I think in February 2016, Sanatana Aarti came. I'm sure it's February 2016, the Sanatana Aarti came. And that night I was really tired, but I still wanted, if Sanatana Aarti comes, no matter how tired I am, I would actually read Sarti that very day. Because I'll tell you about Sanatana Sarthi, it only comes on good days. It comes on my birthday, it comes on New Year. Sometimes if it doesn't come on New Year, it'll come on Sankranti, right? I had a dance performance in the Liberty Science Center. It came right on that day. If I'm traveling to India, it'll come that day. If it's my mom's birthday, it'll come on that day. It'll only come on special days. And if there is no special occasion, it'll only come on a Thursday. So Baba even communicates through a Sanatana Sarthi to me. So this particular February 2016 Sanatana Sarthi is so interesting. I opened the first discourse, and the first discourse was that Baba wrote that my love does not wax and wane. So I understood. A lover's love will wax and wane, but Baba's love is always constant. It won't wax and wane. I was like very touched. I said, okay, Baba, you're aware that I'm writing poems, and you've even replied to my poem. Very, very, very touched, I said. And then I think the next discourse, Baba had written about friends. They are like passing clouds. And Baba alone is your best friend. Nobody else is your best friend. It was very clearly written in that Sanatana Sarthi. I looked at Baba's picture and I said, are you jealous? You don't want anybody else to become my best friend other than you? He was marking his boundaries very clearly. I am the only one who will love you under all circumstances. People might love you today for doing something. Tomorrow they might hate you. The same people who love you. But Baba is not like that. No matter what you do, he will always love you. And your friends might leave you, but Baba will never leave you. He is my only best friend who will be with me in all circumstances. I understood that very clearly. And that month, particularly in Jan 2016, I used a lot of mobile phone. I used to even keep it in my bedroom with me. Every now and then I'll see what is my WhatsApp message. I read about a particular lady who was using a lot of phone, and Baba had written, she was talking about her experiences in Sanatana Sarthi, and Baba had spoken to her, not using too much telephone. I understood this message is for me. And I didn't follow that message. Okay, that Sanatana Sarthi came, and I still kept that phone with me in my bedroom, and I still checked my message. The very next day, I lost my phone. So Baba, if you don't listen to him, he'll first tell you softly. After that, he'll beat you. And this particular incident is very recent. It's on the Aradhana Mahotsav. I had a very severe migraine. We were celebrating, in Jersey City Sai Center was celebrating Aradhana Mahotsav on a particular Saturday. I had a very, very, very severe migraine. And when I have a migraine, I cannot tolerate light, I cannot tolerate sound, I cannot tolerate anything. This left side was severely aching, but I went and took my Bal Vikas class. But when I was taking my Bal Vikas class, I didn't have any headache. The moment I came out of the Bal Vikas class, my headache started. And the lady there, Ms. Sai Kulwant, who's my boss, she told me that, see, you were doing Baba's work. That's why you didn't have a headache, she said. After that, I went and listened to Sai Bhajan. The Bhajan was so awesome, but I still had this pain. It took a lot of effort to sit there and even enjoy the Bhajan because of the kind of pain I was going through. There, our president, Jagannathan uncle, had bought many books there. And I picked up, I love reading Sai Baba's books, so I picked up many books and I went home that day. And instead of having my tablet, I took one of those books which I bought and I told Baba, see, I have such a headache and I still took your class. I still taught your children. I still sat for the bhajan because it's your Aradhana Mahotsav, as if I was doing a great favor to Baba. I said, because it's your Aradhana Mahotsav, that's why I sat there. And now see, I have a migraine, I could go and sleep. Instead of that, I'm holding your book and reading your story. So I don't want to read your story. I want my story in this book. I told Baba that. I'm tired of your stories. I only want my story. And this book was written by Shakuntala Devi. I think it's my son, Sai or something. I don't remember the name of the book. It's written by a lady called Shakuntala Devi. I randomly opened a page. And, a particular incident about, my life was there in that page. I said, okay, I thought this is a coincidence. I opened another page. Again, an incident which happened in the morning was there in that book. I was like, okay, this is getting better and better. I said, Baba, I need something better. I need one more incident for my life for me to believe that you're here with me now in this pain. And then I read this incident about Shakuntala Devi, the lady. She is addicted to coffee like me. So, she was running out of coffee powder one particular night. And she cannot start her day without coffee. And that night, Baba ensured that one of her friend's husband visited her. And he had lots of groceries. And he luckily had coffee powder with him. And so he gave it to her. And I read that incident, it brought tears in my eyes. It was just 3 days before that. I am addicted to coffee and I only drink Indian coffee. I only like brew or sunrise. And the store near my place, which is Morton, was running short of coffee powder. And Indian coffee powder to be precise. There are many other coffee powders there. So I told my friend Reena, in the morning when you drop your daughter to school, that is at around 8 o'clock, can you please give me a little coffee powder? Later I'll go to the Indian street and I'll buy coffee powder. She said, okay, fine. But that night at 9 o'clock, when I and my daughter were going to bed, Reena came home. I was stunned. I said, Reena has 2 children. She left them with her husband and she came home. And she said, I know you cannot start your day without coffee, so I bought you. And she bought me a whole bottle of brew and she gave it to me. And that day profusely thanked Baba. I said, Baba, thank you for giving me such a good friend. I thank Baba so much. And that particular incident was there in this book, which I took from the, Sai Center. I was really, really touched. I said, okay, Baba, my pain is almost going now. I didn't need an Excedrin that day. I was so blissful that day. Another thing is, I also use Baba as my alarm clock right from my school days. When I was in my 10th grade and when I had exams, I used to get up at 4 in the morning to study. I never kept an alarm. I used to only tell Baba, please wake me up. Tomorrow is max exam. Please wake me up at 4 o'clock. He'll wake me up. Sharp 4 o'clock, he'll wake me up. And this habit continues. I never keep an alarm. Whenever I want, I'll tell Baba to wake me up and he'll wake me up. One particular evening, and I always do it for the mornings, but one particular evening, I was really, really, really tired. I was really exhausted. I put my daughter to bed, but there were a lot of dishes for me to do. So I told Baba, see Baba, I have so many dishes. I have to put it in the dishwasher and I'm really tired. I'm going to put my daughter to bed. Please wake me up at 10:30 and I'll go and do my dishes. And I went to bed and I put Baba to bed and I slept off. And I see a dream, a beautiful dream of a peacock feather going this way, that way, this way, that way. It was so beautiful. I think I could even hear a flute. It was so blissful actually. And I opened my eyes and I saw this peacock feather going on my wall like this. And I was like, am I dreaming or is it true? And I slowly opened my eyes. And I looked at my clock, which is on the right side, right near the peacock feather. And it says 10:30 sharp. The seconds needle is going there. Baba woke me up at sharp 10:30 and I did my work. And another thing is, you all know what is aloo paratha. It is basically potato bread. One fine day, I didn't know. My daughter's a very fussy eater. So one day I put a chit in front of Baba and said, I don't know what I should make for this. My daughter, no matter what I make, she's not going to eat it at school. And I put 2 chits. I gave Baba only 2 choices. No matter what you say, I'm going to make that. And one chit was aloo paratha. I picked up aloo paratha. And then I started cribbing. I said, Baba, I have only 20 more minutes to cook. Where is the time for me to cook aloo paratha? And I boiled the potatoes. It was already 7:20. At 7:45, my daughter had to leave for school and she didn't even get up still. Then she was sleeping. I said, Baba, where is the time? When am I going to cook? Why did you choose aloo paratha? And I kept scolding him. I was like, Baba, why did you choose aloo ka paratha? Why did you choose aloo ka paratha? And I never ironed my daughter's clothes. That day I saw her t-shirt was really, really, really crumpled. I said, God, it had to be today. It had to be this day when I don't have real time. And then I hurried to the bedroom to iron this t-shirt. And I had boiled the potatoes. I kept it aside and mixed the masala and the potato, but I had not made the dough. I kept the dough. I didn't even keep the dough outside. And I went to the bedroom and I ironed this, her shirt, and I came back to the hall. This ball of dough was made. It was ready. I'm a very messy cook. If I make roti in my house, the table would be full of atta. Anybody knows I cook well, but I'm a really messy cook. This was so neatly done. A ball of aloo, the ball of atta was really nicely made. And just enough for me, for my daughter. That is only for one paratha. It was actually made. I'm like, Baba, you made this ball for me? And, he just simplified my work. All I had to do is roll and that's it. I was like, God, I'm so grateful. I was so, thankful that day. Baba is even ready to make this aloo paratha for me. What else do I want? This morning when my mother called me, she said, don't forget the old man when you talk today. So I'm going to remember, I will talk about this old man who my mother wants me to talk about. I was coming from Tirupati. A very bad phase in my life is going on. I think in the year 2011 end or 2012, I don't remember. So I was coming back from Tirupati. I think we reached a place called Chittoor. We were coming by taxi. Binu was driving and I was sitting with my daughter. And when we reached Chittoor, I made the statement. I said, even after going to Tirupati, I don't have a peace of mind, I said. I feel horrible, I said. I'm not getting this peace that I wanted. And I made a particular statement. I said, if Sai Baba were alive today, I could go to Prashanti Nilayam and I would have got my peace of mind, I said. I said, if Sai Baba were alive. The moment I said that, right in front of us, there was this old man with a white shirt, a white pant and a vibhuti on his forehead. And he asked for a lift and our car passed him. Binu had missed seeing him. I told Binu, we'll give this lift to this person. We took a reverse and we gave him a lift. And he came inside. And the moment he got in, he saw Sai Baba's photo in the car. And the first thing he said is, he is the only living God. Baba objected me to calling him dead. He said he's the only living God. And he sat in the car. Binu was a little worried that probably, this guy is a thief or something. But the moment he sat inside, he slept for some time. After some time, he woke up and he asked for something that is not available, a Limca or a Sprite, something he said he wants. He said, I'm feeling very thirsty, I want a Limca or a Sprite. So Binu went looking for a Limca or a Sprite. He didn't get, he came back. I said, what if you didn't get a Limca or Sprite? I said, let me go and get some water. I said, and immediately got a bottle of water for this gentleman. So when I got this bottle of water, Binu went to buy ice cream for my daughter. And at that particular time, he told me, he said, okay, he had told me that his wife is in Chittoor and he was going to Bangalore. I later learned that there is a Parvati's temple there. He told me that I have 5 sons and you're my first daughter. He asked me my name and he said, see, you are born to do service. All your life you will do service, he said. I was thinking, how does he know this? And let me tell you, before that, when this person entered and he said he's the only living God, whenever I see Sai Baba, whenever I go for a darshan, even when I close my eyes, I can feel Sai Baba. I know he's coming for the darshan. I can feel it inside my heart. All my hair would rise. I would feel cold completely. Tears would come. Even when I close my eyes, I know Baba is there. And when this gentleman was sitting inside the car, I could feel it actually. I could really feel it that, it's not someone ordinary who's sitting behind. And I told myself, see, if this person is Sai Baba, within the next 15 minutes, I should see this name Sai Baba coming somewhere. And I gave God 15 minutes time and this car was going. And in 14 minutes, I saw Rama on so many lorries' name. There was Shiva on lorries' names. There was various other names on the lorries written. Lorry is a truck. Yeah, these trucks were going with various names. So in the 15th minute, I saw this truck with the name Sai Baba. And I still thought, your heart and your mind talks at the same time. My heart said, so see, this is Sai Baba. That's why I saw the name Sai Baba. The mind said, this is just a coincidence. Leave it. And this particular gentleman, as when Binu went to buy this ice cream, he told me that, Jiji, you're born to do service. And he told me something personal, which I cannot tell you at this point of time. And I was like stunned. And I was talking to him. And then he told me, he asked me to give me a bottle. I gave him a bottle of water. He said, give me another bottle of water. Give me an empty bottle. And I had used this bottle. I gave him my empty bottle. From this new bottle, he filled water into the old bottle. And he drank from the old bottle in which I kept my mouth. He drank from that bottle and he told me, water should never be wasted. I have read and heard Baba's discourses where he's always talking about not wasting water. He said you should only take as much as you need. Never ever waste water. Then I told him that I stopped this car only because I saw this vibhuti and you were wearing a white shirt or a white pant. We don't stop the car for anybody else. He said, Vibhuti illada netti suttam. I said, uncle, what does this mean? It's actually a Tamil saying. He said, your forehead is a big zero without vibhuti. First thing you need to do in the morning is get up. After you bathe, you need to take a little drop of vibhuti, mix it with water and put it on your forehead, he said. He was actually advising me, don't waste water, use vibhuti. And he told me many other things. Again, they are personal advices, which I cannot share here. I was really touched. And then he told me that he's having low BP. I have low BP. I know that every time I don't eat, I have low BP. So immediately I didn't have anything else. He asked me some fruit. I didn't have anything else. I had only treptine biscuits. So I gave him this protein biscuits to him and he ate them. And he said, I'm going to remember this all my life. He said, these treptine biscuits are he said, you don't know what these treptine biscuits mean to me. I'm going to remember this all my life. And later these people joined and our journey continued. He was there with us till Indira Nagar. And my daughter, I think she was a very small girl, I think 3 or something, or I think 2.5 or 3, I don't remember. She started crying during the journey. And every time she cried, this gentleman would raise both his hands in Abhay Hasta post. Both his hands like this and bless my daughter. I used to think only God will raise his hands and bless somebody. Every time my daughter cries, he would raise his hand and bless her. And then when we reached Indira Nagar, this gentleman got out of the car and he told me, he touched my daughter's. I wanted to fall at his feet. But again, I didn't know if it's Baba or if it's not Baba. This mind and heart talking all the time. When he got down, he put his hands on my daughter's forehead and he said, I bless you with a long life, happy life, healthy life, blissful life and divine life. I alone know that every time I pray for my family, that is for my mother, father, everybody in my family, I pray with everybody's individual name and I say, bless them with a long life, happy life, blissful life, divine life. Just in the same order, that gentleman had blessed my daughter. Only I alone know that is something which I pray in my heart. How did he know the exact words how I prayed? And then this gentleman, walked away. And when he walked away, there were tears coming in my eye. And I thought, I just saw God and he just walked out of my car. He's still with me in my heart, but this form, I met him in this form. And when I talk about the old man, there's a story about an old lady too. This happened in America, a very popular place in America. In Journal Square, there's nobody who does not know Apna Bazaar. If you are an Indian, you will go to Apna Bazaar. You buy all your groceries there. And I met God even in Apna Bazaar as a beautiful Philippine lady who was 91-year-old. And I'm not alone. My friend has also met her and also taken a picture with her. And she still treasures the picture. That particular morning, again, I was going through this inferiority complex. I went right in front of Krishna, I think Krishna's picture, and I told him, you made me very ugly. I'm not at all beautiful and all. Early in the morning, I started cribbing. I told Baba, you made me very ugly. I'm not at all beautiful and all that, I told him. And then I was actually, before going to Apna Bazaar, I did a Google search on what are the fruits we should eat for increasing our iron. And I did all this, I remember, and then we went to Apna Bazaar. I went to Apna Bazaar with my friend Rashmi Pillai. We both did all our grocery shopping, and I called Uber. And I was going to call Uber, and Rashmi was talking to this old lady, and then she introduced me to this old lady, and she said, see, this is the old lady is giving a lot of advices. She's telling us not to have cola and all that. So I asked her, so from which country are you? She said, I'm from Philippines. So I tried to act, I wanted to show off that I know places in Philippines. So I said, do you know are you from Manila? She said, no, I'm not from Manila. I'm from a different place. At that particular time in my life, I was going through a kind of depression, and I was thinking that I'm going to die. And I was only worried that if I die, something happens to me at home, my daughter will be waiting for me at the school, and she wouldn't even know that her mother has died, and she'll be waiting for me. There would be no one to tell her that her mother's died. There's nobody to help me here. I don't know why, every day I used to think that today I'm going to die. I don't know why I was going through this particular bad phase in my life. So, and during this phase is when I went to Apna Bazaar. So I met this particular lady, and then she asked Rashmi, what is your name? She said, Rashmi. She said, what does it mean? So Rashmi said, it means sun rays. And then this lady said her name in Philippines, and she said it means the sun. I know Baba, I've seen many videos of Baba during his, interviews. He'll ask everybody, what is your name? What is the meaning of your name? In the same style, actually. So he asked me, she asked me, what is your name? I said, it's Jiji. So she said, what does it mean? I said, it has no meaning, I said. Then, and I know there are meanings of it in different, and I think there is a Japanese meaning to it and all that, but I didn't want to say anything. So she said, no, you tell me what is the meaning. I remember that long, I think when I was a child or something, I read somewhere that Jiji E in Sanskrit means long life. So I said, it means long life in Sanskrit, I said. So she said, then live long, she said. She said that again and again. So live long, she said. From that day, this particular fear of dying is gone. Now I know no matter what happens to me, even when a car comes sometimes across the road, I know I'm not going to die. I'm not scared at all, actually. I know that no matter what happens, I'm not going to die. I told that to many people. Nothing can happen to me. Even if I die, I'm going to come back alive, I told them. Because I know, because Baba has told me I'm going to live long, then I'm going to live long. And then this lady told me, she told me, first thing when she saw me, she told me again, you're very beautiful, she said. And I was like, really? Today morning only I told Guru Arapan that I'm not, beautiful, and I was complaining that I was ugly, and this lady is telling me I'm beautiful. And she told Rashmi she has a nice smile, and she told me you're very beautiful. She kept telling me that I'm very beautiful. I felt good. And then we kept talking. She told me that she's a teacher and we all need to work and all that. She gave us many advices like a mother. And then she told me that, I'm just trying to recollect what she told me. She told me, if you eat a lot of fruits, you will not need an insurance in this country. Otherwise, in America, to survive without insurance is impossible, she said. And she said, you have to eat 9 fruits a day, Jiji, she said. I was thinking, how does she know? When I was pregnant, I used to eat 9 fruits a day. And only I know. And I kept telling everybody I used to eat 9 fruits a day. I used to eat 9 fruits a day, including dry fruits. She used the exact words, Jiji, you have to eat 9 fruits a day. Otherwise, you have to keep going to see the doctor, she said. And she told me that you cannot see which fruit has iron, which fruit has this and eat. You have to eat every fruit. That morning, I did a Google search to see which fruits increase iron level. And so she told me, basically, you should eat everything, she said. And there was a particular item which I had left. And she told me to resume eating that item. She said, you start eating it. Though it's not sattvic, you need it, she said. She didn't use the word exact sattvic, but she said something else. And she asked me to resume eating that particular item, which I had given up. Thanks to the lady, after that, a particular ailment that was suffering from, now I'm not suffering from that. And I started eating this particular item. And then she told me, then we called the Uber. She gave Rashmi some advice. She said, you should have another child. Who knows, who will become the Asian leader, she said. Rashmi is currently pregnant. She went to Shirdi's temple, and when she came back home, she got to know she was pregnant. And then she told me, then we called the Uber guy and he was not able to locate us. And he was trying to call me and I wanted to talk to this old lady. So I gave the phone to Rashmi and Rashmi was handling this Uber guy. Then she told me, Jiji, forget your problems. I was actually worried about so many things in my life. I was actually depressed. She said, Jiji, don't think about your problems, she said. And then she told me, I'll give you a lot of money. She said, I will give you a lot of money. Why will she give me a lot of money? She said, I'll give you a lot of money. Go around the world. The very next month I went to Jamaica. The very next month. Then she told me, when you run, you get this pain in your calf, in your leg, because of wrong kind of food that you're eating. When I actually go, my daughter was studying in Cordero, and every evening at 2:45, I had to pick my daughter up. And I would leave home only at 2:40. And then I would run all the way to Cordero. And only I know that every time I run, I would get the severe pain in my calf muscles. Other than me, nobody on earth knows that I go through that pain. And sometimes I limp. After that pain, I have to limp for some time. How did she know that I had a pain in my calf muscles? She told me, you have this pain in your calf muscles because of this diet. After that day, still now, I never got that pain in my leg, And then she told me about she told me something, she gave me a particular advice which is personal. And she told me, then we called the Uber came. She said, I'll wish you guys on your birthday. She took our birth dates in a piece of paper. She never wished us. Probably she wished in her own way. And after that, when our Uber came, she told the Uber driver that I want to see you, she said. I'm going to give my daughters to you, so I better see if you're a good man, she said. And she looked right straight into the eyes of that guy and she said, you are a good boy, she said. I know, I've seen videos of Baba and, during interviews, he looks at particular people and says, yes, you are a good man. This was the same style, she said, you're a good man. She told me not to worry about my troubles. She removed my fear of death. She asked me to resume eating something which I had given up. She told me about my calf muscles. She told me about eating 9 fruits a day to avoid going to the doctor. And she even blessed Rashmi. I took a picture of her and Rashmi. And Rashmi still has this picture. And she tells me, she always looks at this picture and it brings good memories to her. When we are on this, I have another story. My mother specifically reminded me, don't forget to talk about Sharifa. My mother stays in Kerala. She's living in a place called Mandatur. And there we have this neighbor, a Muslim neighbor. Her name is Sharifa. Sharifa was 22-year-old at this time and she had the severe hiccups. She was she got married early and she's got a small child. She had the severe hiccups that for months together. And everybody can hear her doing the hiccups. It's that loud. Even your neighbors can hear these hiccups. She did it very, very loudly. And at this particular time, my mom, and I used to feel very bad. They took her to many doctors. Then they even took her to Hakims. And they even said things like, probably there was a death in the family and it's because of that this is happening and all that stuff. No matter which doctor she went to, her hiccups never stopped. So I told my mother, I was visiting India at that time and I told my mother, see, I'm going to put some vibhuti on her, but I won't tell her because she's a Muslim. She was a devout Muslim and they don't even know Sai Baba. They don't even know vibhuti and all that. They wouldn't like it if I put some vibhuti on her. I said, without her knowing, I'm going to put this vibhuti on her. And, I pray for her, I said. My mother said, yeah, you do it. My mother told me, go right away and put this vibhuti. Meet her and come. And I went to her. She didn't even know. I put this vibhuti on her head and I prayed, God, please cure her from this hiccups. And I came back home. From that date till date, she never had those hiccups. And she still doesn't know who cured her hiccups. There's another incident I would like to talk. This is about Baba giving away his body in 24th April 2011. On the 23rd night, I think on some particular site, I wrote that, that Baba is going to cure himself and all that stuff. I still remember. I thought like the way he cured himself from paralysis, he'll just throw some water on himself and he'll become okay. He was just doing some drama. I really thought that he is, of course, doing some drama, but I thought he will cure himself. And I wrote that on that particular site. I was so happy that I wrote that. And I thought I am the only person who knows that Baba is going to cure himself and all that. And I slept very happily. And when I slept, and I think around 1:30, the power went off. And I had bought this big picture of Sai Baba, only his face. Everybody has this picture, his face is in a very close-up and he's smiling at you naughtily. And this light went off and this picture came to life. There was some light on this picture and this picture literally came to life. I got so scared because it was complete darkness. I don't know why the light went off and only this picture, there was light on this picture and the eyes were shining And I could feel that Baba standing there so close to me, and my mother and my daughter were sleeping. I was the only person who was looking at this picture, and there was ghastly winds and all that. I was like, frankly, in the place my mother stays, there are not many wind. The wind never happens, it only rains. I was like, what is happening? I was getting scared. And that particular morning is when I got to know that Baba gave his body. I think it was his way of telling me. I never understood, but he at least came to tell me something. It's a different thing that I understood much later. I don't know how to conclude. I just want to say I've read the stories about, Draupadi, Baba holding the, chappals of Draupadi. And I always thought, oh God, you're even ready to hold the slippers of your devotees. You're so loving. And Baba's done much more for me. I can't compare this, but Baba's done so much for me. He's been a cook for me. He's been a chauffeur for me. He's been my alarm clock. He's been a critic of my poem. He knows my WhatsApp messages. What else do I want as a devotee? There was a time when I thought that, what I wanted was actually moksha and I have to practice detachment and all that stuff. Today, I don't ask for all that. What will I do if I get moksha, if Baba's coming to earth again as an avatar? I'll get bored. I just pray that, Baba, wherever you are, please take me with you. If wherever, always, I don't know how, in this world or the other world, I don't know how it works, but wherever you are, please keep me with you. Love me the same way as you're loving me now. Don't test me so much though. And my relationship with Baba is that of a father and a daughter. My grandfather wanted to name me Sai Mol. Sai Mol in Malayalam means Baba's daughter. My father didn't like the name. He wanted a more modern name, so he named me Jiji. But that's exactly what I am. You name me anything, but I'm still Sai Mol. I'm Sai Baba's daughter. And he's been a doting father, and I'm a pampered child. Thank you so much for listening to me. And I hope you enjoyed, my experiences. Jai Sai Ram.
Om Shri Sai Ram. Our sincerest gratitude to Sister Jiji for sharing such a wonderful set of experiences with us today and making Swami's beautiful messages that he shared throughout his lifetime so clear and accessible to us. To all of the viewers listening across the globe and on the airwaves, thank you so much, Sister Jiji. It was a truly wonderful, sincere, heartfelt, and blissful talk. Thank you very much. No recap can really do Sister Jiji's talk justice, but right here I'll try to summarize some of the salient points that she made during her speech. What I gathered from the story that she mentioned about the protection that Swami offered her during nighttime is that Swami is always with us. He's always around us and is always within us, and he is us. That no matter when we think we're alone or when we think we're in a crowd, he's always there and is omnipresent. As we learned from the taxi story, he listens to all of our prayers and he comes in all forms. As we learned from the story about Sister Jiji's iPhone, which is something that probably most of us can relate to, Swami takes care of all of our problems and makes sure that we have nothing to worry about. He calms us and comes in whatever form is necessary to center and balance us. As Sister Jiji so wonderfully put it, the lover's love will wax and wane, but Baba's love is constant. He will first teach you softly, as we learned. But if you don't heed his words, of course, then the lessons will be harder. But that's only out of his omnipresent and omnipotent love, that it permeates throughout all of creation and that is unconditional. And that love allows him to be the most dependable of all of the beings that could ever walk through this universe. As we know, Baba has the power to wake us up every day right on time, right at 10:30. And he can act as our alarm clock from within or without. Baba is the living God. And what I gathered from this is that he's living, and we consider him to be the living God, not only because he came in that beautiful form that we know of, with the orange robe and the hair, but also because he is in all of us. So how can he ever not be alive? He lives in us, and as he himself said with his own profound words, our life is our message. And so we are also forms of that undying and omnipotent love. We are Prema Swarupalara. And finally, that form is not all. As Sister Jiji so lovingly put it, we have nothing to fear, and we especially do not need to fear dying, because Baba has given us this body, and he will ensure that we live long, whether it be in this body or another. We are always Prema Swarupalara. And finally, what's clear throughout all of Sister Jiji's experiences to me is that Baba is our true friend, and he alone is our best friend. That cements his omnipresence in this universe. He will be with us under all circumstances, in all situations, in all places, at all times, known or unknown. He is our true friend. Thank you again, Sister Jiji, for such a wonderful talk. Many of the lessons that we've learned, I'm sure, will stay with us throughout our entire lives and will direct us in the days to come as to how we should seek out Swami in all of our experiences. Because some of the experiences that you have mentioned may seem mundane, but truly they are spiritual and they're very powerful. So thank you very much. I'd also like to make a special thank you to our loving audience who's tuned in from across the globe today to listen to this special edition of Friday Night Inspirations. As Brother Rishi mentioned earlier, we're celebrating the 5th anniversary of BhajanBliss this year. And Friday Night Inspirations is one of our flagship programs that we started several years ago with Swami's grace and has persevered to this day. And we are very blessed to be able to provide the platform for devotees such as Sister Jiji to share their experiences with all of us. So with Swami's grace, on the occasion of the 5th anniversary of BhajanBliss this year, we are bringing special programming to you live throughout the entire summer. Tomorrow morning, which is Saturday, June 17th, at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, we will have a special guided meditation session titled Tuning into Silence. And this is a session that's very close to my heart because I believe that the language of God flourishes in silence. This guided meditation session is hopefully the first of several guided meditation programs that we will offer to Swami. So please join us tomorrow during this peaceful and peace-giving program. In addition, we will be having a Pushpa Abhishekam, which is the act of offering flowers to the divine presence of Bhagawan Sri Sathya Sai Baba. And that program will be titled Showers of Bliss. It will take place on Sunday, June 18th, which is 2 days from now, starting at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So, after this beautiful talk that has illuminated us and reminded us of the truth that resides within us and of the omnipresence of Swami and of the oneness that we share with him in all beings, let's tune in to him through our own hearts in the best medium that we know, melodious, blissful bhajans. Jai Sai Ram.
जय गणेश पाहि मां श्री गणेश रक्ष मां जय गणेश पाहि मां श्री गणेश रक्ष मां
रक्ष माम् जय गणेश पाहि मां श्री गणेश रक्ष माम् मंगलकर गौरी सुत जय गणेश पाहि माम् मंगलकर गौरी सुत जय गणेश पाहि माम् मंगलकर संकट हर जय गणेश रक्ष माम् मंगलकर संकट हर जय गणेश रक्ष माम् जय गणेश जय गणेश जय गणेश रक्ष माम् जय गणेश जय गणेश जय गणेश रक्ष माम् जय गणेश पाहि मां श्री गणेश रक्ष माम् जय गणेश जय गणेश जय गणेश रक्ष माम् मंगलकर गौरी सुत जय गणेश पाहि माम् मंगलकर संकट हर जय गणेश रक्ष माम् जय गणेश जय गणेश जय गणेश रक्ष माम् जय गणेश जय गणेश जय गणेश रक्ष माम् जय गणेश पाहि मां श्री गणेश रक्ष माम् ओम जय जय गुरु साई मुकुंदा ओम जय जय गुरु साई मुकुंदा साई मुकुंदा साई मुकुंदा साई मुकुंदा साई मुकुंदा ओम जय जय गुरु साई मुकुंदा सच्चिदानंदा आनंद चंदा सच्चिदानंदा आनंद चंदा बाल मुकुंदा देवकी नंदा बाल मुकुंदा देवकी नंदा ओम जय जय गुरु साई मुकुंदा साई मुकुंदा साई मुकुंदा ओम जय जय गुरु साई मुकुंदा सच्चिदानंदा आनंद चंदा बाल मुकुंदा देवकी नंदा बाल मुकुंदा देवकी नंदा ओम जय जय गुरु साई मुकुंदा
जय जटाधर गौरी शंकर गिरिजामन रमणा
शंकर गिरि वनमाली राधा रमणा गिरिधारी गोविंदा वनमाली राधा रमणा गिरिधारी गोविंदा नीलमेघ सुंदरा नारायण गोविंदा नीलमेघ सुंदरा नारायण गोविंदा वनमाली राधा रमणा गिरिधारी गोविंदा भक्त हृदय मंदारा भानुकोटि सुंदरा भक्त हृदय मंदारा भानुकोटि सुंदरा नंदा नंदा गोप वृंदा नारायण गोविंदा हरि नंदा नंदा गोपा वृंदा नारायण गोविंदा वनमाली राधा रमणा गिरिधारी गोविंदा नीलमेघ सुंदरा नारायण गोविंदा वनमाली राधा रमणा गिरिधारी गोविंदा भक्त हृदय मंदारा भानुकोटि सुंदरा हे भानुकोटि सुंदरा भक्त हृदय मंदारा भानुकोटि सुंदरा नंदा नंदा गोपा वृंदा नारायण गोविंदा हरि नंदा नंदा गोपा वृंदा नारायण गोविंदा नारायण गोविंदा नारायण गोविंदा नारायण गोविंदा नारायण गोविंदा नारायण गोविंदा साई नारायण गोविंदा साई नारायण गोविंदा नारायण 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 गोविंदा नारायण 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 गोविंदा नारायण 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 गोविंदा सत्य नारायण 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 गोविंदा साई नारायण 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 गोविंदा नीलमेघ सुंदरा नारायण गोविंदा।
Thank you.
gloria a ti, mi Señor, hacedor de toda la vida, como la luna tranquila, con tu dulzura iluminas la luz de vuestro corazón. Gloria a ti, mi Señor. Eres Padre, Madre, la guía, el Señor de toda armonía, el Señor de toda armonía. Mi Dios, mi Maestro y mi guía, mi Dios, mi Maestro y mi guía, el néctar de compasión. Gloria a ti, mi Señor. Manantial de gracia y consuelo, eres el Padre Supremo, eres el Padre Supremo, que nos envuelve en su velo, que nos envuelve en su velo, eres nuestro protector. Gloria a ti, mi Señor. Salvador de los afligidos, ante tus pies nos rendimos, ante tus pies nos rendimos, y con amor te pedimos, y con amor te pedimos, que nos dé tu bendición, oh mi dulcísimo Señor. Alabado seas, Señor, alabado seas, mi Señor. Te entrego todas mis faltas, te entrego todas mis dudas, para que tú las consumas en el puro fuego de amor. Narayana, Narayana, Om Satya Narayana, 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 Om Satya Narayana, Narayana, Satya Narayana, Narayana. Gloria a ti, mi Señor. Narayana, Narayana, Om Satya Narayana, 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 Om Satya Narayana, Narayana, Satya Narayana, Narayana, Om. Gloria a ti, mi Señor. Narayana, Narayana, Om Satya Narayana, 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 Om. Narayana, Narayana, Om Satya Narayana, Narayana, Om. Satya Narayana, Narayana, Om. Gloria a ti, mi Señor. Om. Paz, paz, paz. समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु, समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु, समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। जय बोलो भगवान श्री सत्य साई बाबा जी की जय।